Namo Amida Bu. Hi guys, sorry it's been a while since I made a video. I've been sick. And it's actually helped me to look at the transience of this Saha Realm. It's helped me to come to grips with how fragile my mind is, my body, especially as I go into old age. This is a very important thing to look at. It's a very important thing to realize, because you come to grips with the fact that you're not going to be a Buddha or a Bodhisattva in this Saha life. This is the Dharma ending age of Mappo. This is the age where we are experiencing a decline in ethics, in morals, in manners, in social structure. And those of us who live in America are all too aware of that. Now, there is beauty, there is goodness, and there are good people, but myself included, although I do the best I can only go so far in terms of my spiritual growth. There's a realization of your limitations. If you're honest with yourself, as you grow older like I have, and I love and embrace my old age, I like it. The hardest part is looking in the mirror and seeing, the gradual decline of your looks. And since I haven't been that obsessed with, I've never been labeled as really attractive, so that's not a big issue for me. A bigger issue for me is worries about mental decline, especially since I've chosen to represent the Dharma with my life, the remainder of my life. And as I study for the Jodo Shinshu priesthood, tea leaves. As I study for the Jodo Shinshu priesthood, I'm constantly made aware of my own mental, emotional limitations. And far from seeing this as a defeating factor in my studying for the priesthood, it actually fuels my motivation. There's a realization there's not that much time left on this earth. And I don't see that as a tragic, sad reality. It's a fact of life. Birth, sickness, old age, and death, these are realities of the human condition. And to be honest with that is to enhance yourself, to focus on that which is most important. And for me, what is most important in my life, what is most crucial in the remainder of my life, is to be a sharer of what I've found on my long, arduous journey through this life, through this Saha life. And that is being open to receiving Amida's gift of Shinjin, saying his name in faith and gratitude, and reaching the stage of non-retrogression, where you know without a shadow of a doubt that you are going to the Pure Land. Of that I have no doubt. There is no greater gift to offer humanity based on my own personal experience. Now, one thing I want to make clear also is that during the time I was sick, and I'm not completely better, just a little congestion, but I became aware of the fact that Amida's name and his other power are not talismans or objects for me to use for my own personal benefit. I cannot, that is to say, I cannot make myself into a Buddha in this life by saying the name of Amida Buddha. No matter how intensely I concentrate, no matter how sincere I am about becoming a Buddha in this life, because I don't have the wherewithal, the intelligence, or the tenacity to make that happen. I, by nature, am a lazy person. And it behooves me to accept this. And now that I'm coming out of being sick, I'm having to horsewhip myself into going back and studying, which I want to do. I enjoy studying the Dharma. I love studying the Dharma. But I'm lazy. That is to say, I'm easily distracted. Give you a perfect example. Yesterday, I spent most of yesterday listening to excellent music on YouTube. And I just found endless channels with covers of songs that I like and all these various artists I've never heard anything of. And then I look at the clock and several hours have passed. This is because I am a bamboo. I am a spiritual idiot, incapable of dragging my ass up the mountain of enlightenment. And I know for a fact, based on my own personality, my own limitations, and my own emotional instability, that I cannot possibly bring myself to the pinnacle of enlightenment, much less go over that hill and become a fully enlightened Buddha in this life. To think that I could would be very deluded. And so rather than cry about the fact that I'm getting older, that my body is in decline, I need to see that as a beautiful, positive gateway to the Pure Land. And that's not to imply that I can bring myself through that gateway. What it means is I need to realize that Amida Buddha offers me the only true means to enlightenment through his other power, through the gift he gives us called Shinjin, or simple faith in him and his Pure Land. We are able to entrust ourselves to Amida and be open to letting go of our own self-power means of granting ourselves enlightenment, and just know that this Buddha is capable of making what he promised to us in his Primal Vow a reality in our next life. That's another thing. I will become a Buddha. Of that I have no doubt. That's why I say I have reached the stage of non-retrogression. There's no way I'm going to ever make a video on YouTube saying to you, hey guys, I just realized I'm going to become a Mormon. I'm going to become a Wiccan. I'm going to go back to being a this, that, or the other. I am sealed in Amida's grace till the end of my days. Now, that's not to say I can't get dementia or Alzheimer's or get hit in the head and forget about Amida in this life. But I know for a fact that's not going to have any impact on my next life. Regardless of what I become or don't become in this life, of this Saha plane of existence, it has no bearing on the fact of my obtaining absolute Buddhahood in the next life. That belongs to Amida. This is what distinguishes Jodo Shinshu Buddhism from many other schools of Buddhism, is the Primal Vow. Our total trust in the Primal Vow. Our total faith in the Primal Vow. And if you truly follow the teachings of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, that's what it's all about. That's what it comes down to. Like I said, I've been sick for a couple of weeks. Not incapacitated completely, but it's thrown a wrench in my plans for studying. And it's screwed with my head big time. Because I can't do what I normally want to do. I'm normally a very active, vibrant person, and lately I have not been. Now, during this time of sickness, not once did I ever use the name of Amida Buddha as a magic potion to make myself feel better. And during this time, I've had crazy dreams. I've had weird thoughts because I haven't been at my physical best or emotional best. But I didn't use the name of Amida, as some schools do, as a focus for meditation to give my mind mental peace, or as a means to harmonize my emotional stability. I've long since accepted the fact that due to my train wreck of an upbringing, I was raised to be emotionally unstable. That varies from time to time, better or worse. But the idea that I can use Nimbutsu to heal myself and bring myself into various stages of samadhi and eventually to full enlightenment in this life and the here and now is absurd. Why do I know it's absurd? Because I've tried it for years, even prior to becoming a Buddhist. I've done everything, as I've talked about in these videos. I've gone out of my way to find mental peace. I've gone out of my way to find emotional peace. Right now, at this point in my life, I am happiest and most free realizing that I am a broken person. That what my Shinjin, my faith in Amida, means is that no matter what my condition or the circumstance of my death down the road, either sooner or later, my salvation, my birth in the Pure Land has nothing to do with my mental stability, my emotional emotional stability or the state of my circumstance upon death in this samsaric realm I'm dwelling in now. Excuse me. I'm an old guy in physical decline, and I've made peace with it. It's not a sad story. I don't want to live forever in the Saha realm. And I don't want to pretend to be a Buddha in this realm or an enlightened being, because I would just be bullshitting you and myself. The world is filled with cult leaders who claim such things. I've met teachers whose disciples claimed they were enlightened masters, only to find out that their behavior showed otherwise. So it's best for me to be honest and upfront with you, and more importantly with myself, about the brokenness of my state. And I see that as a positive thing, because by explaining to a broken world that a broken, messed up, emotionally unstable guy like myself can actually experience the beauty and love of Amida in the here and now. And footnote, this does not mean samadhi or enlightenment in any way, shape, or form. It's kind of like seeing the beauty of admiring the beauty of the rainbow while you're standing in the middle of the rain. You're surrounded by clouds. You're pelted by raindrops. But you realize all is not lost, because you see the beauty of the rainbow. And you sense that the light that creates the rainbow from the mist of the rain shines always, even though it's obscured by clouds, sometimes dark, terrible clouds, clouds that you think are going to take your life away, clouds that you think are going to destroy your health, clouds that you think are going to destroy your mind, and in the long run, in this life, may indeed, or most likely will do so. I say this because another benefit of being an old man is realizing the fragility of life here in this Saha realm. Now, I will live eternally. That's not a grandiose claim. It's a knowing I have. And nobody will convince me otherwise, including myself, if that makes any sense. I know without question, at this point in my samsaric existence, that I'm just here, and the best thing I can do is to serve others, be the best person I can be, and to tell people about what I found. What I found was that Amida Buddha loved me from the very beginning. What I found was that this Buddha has the power to cut through all of my BS, all of my instability, all of my doubts and fears. And somehow, through his power, not my own, revealed to me a way to be born in my next life as a fully enlightened Buddha. To know this fact while sitting here in this pathetic realm of existence is a comfort that I cannot describe to you. Now, as Shinran has talked about, and Renyo have talked about, just because you have reached the stage of non-retrogression and you are a person of settled Shinjin, it does not mean that you are constantly filled with joy and happiness. It is not an emotional state. It is not a samsaric or enlightened state. It is a knowing that no matter what you go through based on the karma, positive and negative, you have created in this life, there is no doubt in your mind whatsoever that you will be a Buddha in your next life. That's why I really can't address Buddhists from other schools who say the name of Amida Buddha to find peace, to gain health, to gain prosperity. And I'm not saying that I don't receive that from Amida Buddha. I honestly don't know. I know that there is nothing that the greatest of all Buddhas, Amida, cannot do for me. But, like I said, that's not my personal experience. And that's not my focus. Because to use Buddha's name to bring those things to pass in my life, that's me trying to use his name to enlighten myself or to heal myself, either physically, emotionally, or spiritually. The Buddha's name is not mine to manipulate. And that's a good way of putting it. I am not anything special because I have reached the stage of non-retrogression. I am no smarter or better than anyone, and I do mean anyone in this realm, because of it. But I am most fortunate. I have a connection by clinging meekly to Amida's sleeves like a sick child, which is what I am, and saying his name and entrusting myself to him. I allow Amida to be my parent and my guide. By asking Amida regularly to guide me, I realize that I am not capable of bringing great things to pass in my life. It's not to say I don't have talents, I do. But I know myself for who I really am. Once you come to grips with who you really are, that is an eye-opening experience. And you come to realize you're not all that. And I don't want to waste what years I have bullshitting myself or anyone else into thinking anything other than what I found to be true. And what I found to be true is the primal vow of Amida Buddha. Entrust yourself to him. Say his name. Wish to be born in his pure land of ultimate bliss and peace. This is the truest way to salvation there is. This is the answer. It is the answer. Namo Amida Bu.